Good afternoon. Time now for News at 12. Let's look at the headlines. MUTENDERE residents storm police post after rumors of an inmate dying in custody. PIT-LATRINES overflow to people's homes in LUSAKA'S KALINGALINGA compound. Fewer monthly reviews have not affected any company charges, Energy Minister Peter KAPALA said. We have the details after this message.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chol. We're from Cho's Fitness Gym. We're a fully functional gym located along Twin Palm Road in Kablonga, right by Cheshire Homes Society of Zambia. So we have various classes that happen from Monday to Friday. We have aerobics, we have boot camp, we have step aerobics, we have spinning, we have kettlebell classes. They happen from 18 to 19 hours every day, and we are open from 06 until 20 hours. That's Monday to Friday. Then Saturdays 6 to 12, and then Sundays we are closed, and most public holidays we are open 6 to 12.
PIT-LATRINES in Kapeshi Road of Kalingalinga Overflow area in Lusaka are overflowing with fecal influence following the heavy rain the country has experienced in the past few days. Speaking to Camnet News, affected residents states that the area remains flooded for days after a downpour due to the poor drainage system in the area. A check by Camnet News revealed overflowing PIT-LATRINES while the fecal matter had been carried to people's doorsteps. Viewer discretion is advised. We have more in this report.
Residents of Kalingalinga compound in Lusaka, which is one of the most densely populated communities in the capital city, are at high risk of waterborne diseases as they are wading in water mixed with fecal effluents. This situation has come about as a result of poor drainage systems in the area, meaning that water remains stagnant and floods people's homes. A check by Camnet News along Kapeshi Road of Kalingalinga Overspill area found that the floods had in turn resulted in some PIT-LATRINES filling to the rim, while others had been completely submerged. The situation has concerned affected residents.
Ma drainage niyo shinka, then ma toilet ma PIT-LATRINE niyo zula manje vija vidoti vienda manje mvingena manyumba mwa bantu. So tizadwala typhoid kuli koleti na mabana bana sona choka noenda kuchani kuskulu.
Kudala kwenze bapush bamene benzo upanga ma drainage. Nanga lero bapush banaenda kuti bapange push basipanga ma drainage. Tifuna bakansela batikumbukeko ku ma drainage.
Others say the current situation calls for urgent action from the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU.
Vasakileko popitira manzi kuchoka mkomboni yazienda u. Kairi hapa ya kungo uzunguluka yeye choka kumwamba u. Yatente mukayabwela kuno mumanyumba muzu.
Kangwa kwenda panja manzi alifulu mumanyumba muli manzi. Tikangu wanakuja pale. Manzi atuwa matoilet ya zula. Tiyo kanaise tuzati wala kolera, typhoid.
Nako ba DMMU kuno babwere batandise ko issue ya drainage. Apomporera kwa manzi. Zakwanisa bwanji se issue kuno.
Akansela na DMMU tepa kota ndizo. Tipempa. Manzi achoka choke matuvi achoka ashitoenda matuvi ashitongena na munyumba tipempa ma drainage. Basipangere ko ma drainage.
Meanwhile, Kalingalinga Ward 6 Councillor Mukubesa Nyoni says while the problem can be addressed using Constituency Development Fund, there is need to break down bureaucracy when accessing emergency funds.
Come end of this year, we should have a solution. However, this is a serious appeal for me, because in the Constituency Development Fund guideline, there's a contingency fund for each ward, which is 361,000. This is meant for disasters, and a disaster is something that needs immediate action. However, the procedure is that you have to follow the same sequence of Ward Development Committee, CDF Committee, local authority, provincial.
In the meantime, the councillor says there is need for DMMU to move in, while his office pushes for the release of emergency funds. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Residents of Mutendere compound in Lusaka Friday afternoon protested against the police accusing them of torturing suspects in the custody. The protest ensued at Mutendere police station after reports that a suspect had died while in police cells. The residents narrate that the suspect was arrested 4 days ago after misplacing 80 kwacha belonging to his employer at a shop in Mutendere market. But when contacted for a comment, Zambia Police Deputy Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale has dismissed claims that the suspect was tortured and has died, stating that he has been taken to Chainama Hills Hospital as he was throwing himself on the floor in the cell leading to his injuries. More in this report.
Irate residents of Mutendere compound in Lusaka Friday afternoon almost burnt down Mutendere police station following a report that a suspect who is a trader at Mutendere market had died from torture while in police cells. The angry mob was however stopped by the police, who mobilized themselves to prevent any damage to the public infrastructure. According to fellow traders at the market, the suspect was arrested 4 days ago after being reported by his employer for failing to hand over 80 kwacha worth of profit. The suspect was however Friday afternoon mistaken for dead as he was severely injured and had burn marks on his body.
Aendo muchosa kuona muntu amene wachosa si muntu futi. Si muntu. Muntu monga banamutira manzuku niwo vimba kuipa bironda kumusana huku. Awe si muntu. Manje fite family bamuchita kumbuyo konso kufatokera kuti. Manje kuvimba yonse yaja. Ise pamete mukonkese kwenda kujenno kulata ndoyopa ise. Kupesa manja monga tapa ashoke wanamuri. Ukukonse ukuvimba koze 14 kumwamuna ukavimba chani amutumati shako mulembu na wewe mulembu wako so wako setine chine era namba yaba aisa mukumutwala ku police baya mukumuma mu police yaba muma mu police bamufumya umwana takweta amaka katsinga bali mutocha akachirishadi aba bakonsi abalaiti tatikwata amaka widango naye kayaboka matijaga mwalira ndemwe meta bwerera manje se naaba na make boni na uje nataenda wile bali 4 taenda kuti taenda ku hospital kuja tafunza kuti ayi uje muntu wabwera apa baenda naye chabe steleti kuja kuchani so mwamela alichita kuja so titina muone ise suzenda peza chapa mika bija bakubala chapije maximum bakumpu.
Meanwhile, a human rights advocate Christopher Shalwabala says the Ministry of Home Affairs should investigate police operations.
Now, the word of advice to the Minister of Home Affairs, perhaps, and the other relevant bodies is that they should see to it that it's the duty of each and every government, globally if you like, including the Zambian government, to help and protect their own citizens. Gone are days whereby if somebody of a high profile in society commits a crime and the police would start looking at the color of that particular person, the standing of that particular person, I think to me justice is for everyone.
Zambia Police Deputy Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale, however, says the suspect had mental issues, stating that he was hitting himself on the floor, hence the injuries, and has been taken to Chainama Hills Hospital.
Now, this suspect was put in police custody, but apparently his behavior became unusual while he's in police cells. So his colleagues in cells reported to the police that he was behaving strangely. He was behaving like somebody who is not who is mentally disturbed. So that's how police released that person, taking him to Chainama. Now, word went round in Mutendere compound that somebody has died in police custody.
Community members have however called for more investigations into the matter. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Government says no company has so far been affected by the monthly review of the fuel pump price. Responding to a question raised by a journalist at a media briefing held in Lusaka Friday afternoon, Energy Minister KAPALA says unless government sees a written statement from a company that has been affected by the monthly review, it does not believe that companies are being affected. And the Energy Minister says there is no need to unbundle ZESCO into 3 entities because ZESCO is a small company. The Energy Minister, however, says what people should be concerned about is the indebtedness of ZESCO and how it can be restructured. More in this report.
The monthly review of fuel pump price has received a lot of backlash from members of the general public and players in the transport business who feels the decision has been negatively affecting them. Energy experts such as Dr. Johnston Chikwanda have also advised the government to revert to a quarterly review of fuel, which it says the monthly review has been affecting players in the sector. Energy Minister Peter KAPALA has however told journalists in Lusaka Friday that the monthly review of fuel pump price has not negatively affected any company, adding that unless government sees a written statement from a company complaining over the monthly review, the decision will still stand.
Has the monthly reviews affected the operations of United West Radio? No. So I don't believe that, unless I need to see a written statement from a company that has been affected by the monthly price. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Energy Minister has overruled the proposal by the Industrial Development Corporation (IDC) to have the country's power utility company disbanded in 3 divisions of generating, transmitting and distribution.
Unbundling of ZESCO into 3. Why should we unbundle ZESCO? ZESCO is a very small company. What we should worry is, why is ZESCO in such a debt? And how are we going to dismantle that debt?
And the minister says the shortage of fuel is as a result of some companies not abiding by their contractual obligation.
Total did not import. So if they did not import, there are bound to be a shortage. So if they were not satisfied with the pricing mechanism, they have got the right to go to the regulator, which is the Energy Regulation Board, and state their case. So we cannot tolerate a situation whereby they've been given the permit to import and they do not import. That we are not going to take kindly. And here the Energy Regulation Board will deal with Total administratively.
And the minister says the increase in the inflow of water in the Kariba Dam, Kafiwe Lower Gorge and other dams has resulted in the increase in power generation by 305 megawatts, which it says has resulted in reduced load shedding from 8 hours to 4 hours in a day. Prudence Jota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes High Court Division has ordered Patriotic Front Pambashe Member of Parliament Ronald Chitotela to pay 6.5 million kwacha to Azad Investments Limited. The court's ruling follows Mr. Chitotela's admission that he owes the company money after he entered into an agreement with it to build him a house. The court has entered a judgment on admission. However, the Anti-Corruption Commission charges that the court has omitted for delivering such a ruling on ground that the Commission has already placed the property in question under restriction as it believes it is a proceeds of crime. More in this report.
Opposition Patriotic Front Pambashe Area Member of Parliament Ronald Chitotela will have to pay a sum of 6.5 million kwacha to Azad Investment Limited following a court order. The Economic and Financial Crimes High Court Division has exercised its discretion and entered a judgment on admission for the plaintiff. Judgment on admission is a trade law that a court has power to enter judgment on admission where the evidence reveals that the admission is clear. The court may enter judgment without waiting for the determination of any other questions between the parties. The court's ruling follows Mr. Chitotela's admission that he owes Azadi Investment Limited 6.5 million kwacha. In this matter, Azadi Investment Limited has dragged Mr. Chitotela to court, demanding payment of 6.5 million kwacha, being the balance for the construction of his house worth over 9.6 million kwacha in Chongwe. However, the Anti-Corruption Commission, who were recently granted the plea by the court to be joined to the proceedings, following their interest in the matter, have submitted that the court has omitted by making such a ruling. ACC, through its investigations officer Gift Tembo, wonders why the court would proceed to making such a ruling when the commission recently told the court that its interest to join the matter was because the property in question is under restriction and the subject of investigations, as it believes the former tourism minister, Mr. Chitotela, who served under the Patriotic Front administration, is holding onto a property which is reasonably suspected to being proceeds of crime. Mr. Chitotela, on the other hand, refutes allegations by SCC of having acquired the property in question through corrupt means. He claims to have entered into a contract to buy the property in question as bare land in 2017 at a cost of 1 million kwacha, and further that he entered into an agreement with Azadi Investment Limited to build the said house. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
On that note, we end the news at 12. Let's look at the headlines once again. Mutendere residents storm police post after rumors of an inmate dying in custody. PIT-LATRINES overflow to people's homes in LUSAKA'S KALINGALINGA compound. Fewer monthly reviews have not affected any company, charges Energy Minister Peter KAPALA. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Louisa Nalupumwe. Good afternoon.